No time for jokes, I'm afraid. It's going to have to be a bit quicker today, as life has got a little bit busy. This video is about answering a comment I got recently from Patrick Blay. He wanted to know how he could go about using an NTS-1 to sync up a pocket operator and a TD-3. And funnily enough, I have all three of these things, so let's have a look and give it a go. The problem that you have is that although the NTS-1 will receive MIDI and the TD-3 has a MIDI in and a MIDI through, the pocket operator doesn't respond to MIDI at all. And I don't think the NTS-1 and the TD-3 send a MIDI clock anyway. The pocket operator and the TD-3 both have their own sequencer, but the NTS-1 only has an ARP facility. Luckily for us, both the NTS-1 and the PO have sync outputs, and all three have sync inputs. Previously, I have used gate signals to send a click in order to sync devices like this. I have used the gate out on the Behringer Crave and the Roland TR-626 drum machine. The difference with the pocket operator and the NTS-1 sync signals is that they are regular, steady pulses. This can be viewed as an advantage if you want the signal to keep going without you having to program in any beats, or it might be a disadvantage because you can't allow yourself to do those funky little weird rhythmic shuffles that you can do when you are using the gate signal to sync up. The key to getting all three playing together nicely is to understand how the pocket operator deals with sync signals and how to get the wiring correct. Let's start with the NTS-1, as this is the most simple piece of the operation. On the back of the NTS-1 is a socket marked sync out, and into this socket you need to put a headphone splitter. This must be a stereo headphone splitter because the sync signal is only sent on one channel, and if you split this output into two separate mono signals, you will only be able to use one channel to sync a device. The next job is to plug in the TD-3. Simply take a mini jack cable, and that can be mono or stereo, and plug it into the sync input on the TD-3. Press down on the back and right buttons and at the same time press the 4. This will set your sync mode to trigger, and that's it as far as the TD-3 is concerned. You can now control the tempo that the TD-3 plays back by pressing the ARP button and using the rotary controller B to adjust the tempo. However, we can make this even more interesting still. We could simply spur off from the headphone splitter and put a jack into the left hand side of the PO33. If you are going to run these instruments through a separate mixer, this is probably the best way to do it. Once you have put the sync signal into the jack on the left hand side, you can press the record button and BPM until you read SYO2 on the pocket operator. In this sync mode, the pocket operator listens for a click coming in on that left hand jack and then syncs its playback to that click. Then you can plug all of your outputs into your mixer and you've got the job done. However, things can be more exciting than that. We can create a setup with an audio out that doesn't require any mixer at all using these three devices. All three of these are capable of taking an audio signal in and then mixing it with their own audio and outputting the result. Only one of these though has a real stereo output, and that's the NTS-1. So that is the device that I am going to use at the end of this audio chain. The Pocket Operator has another sync mode which allows you to input into that left-hand jack both a sync signal and a mono audio signal, and that's SY4. So again, you press the record button and BPM until the screen reads SY4. What you have to be careful with here though is that you need a stereo input with one channel taking a click track, which is the sync signal, and the other channel giving the mono audio. If you put a stereo signal in there that's mixed, this won't work. So you need another splitter cable. This time though, you need a stereo mini jack to two mono jacks. The TD-3 will go through one side, providing the mono audio signal, and the sync from the NTS-1 will go into the other channel. Of course, the mono output from the TD-3 is on a 6.5mm jack, so you're going to have to get a converter at some point down this chain. That way you can have all of the signals matching up. Once you have plugged the TD-3 into one channel of the stereo and the sync signal into the other channel of the stereo, and then that stereo pair into the left-hand socket of the Pocket Operator, you then need to turn the volume up. Finally, you take a stereo mini jack from the Pocket Operator and plug it into the audio in on the NTS-1. I managed to put this setup together with a few cables that I had lying around, but I've had a long time to collect these things. I had a quick look on eBay and I reckon you could get the same cables that you would need to do this for under £10. Probably, if you searched around on the internet, you could get them for under £5. This is actually a really cool setup for messing around doorlessly with. It has 3 elements to it, and as you know, I like having 3 elements. You've got a sampler / drum machine, a nice bass mono synth, and then another synth for doing floaty ARP lines over the top. What I like is that there was a workaround here. You've got 3 different companies which have approached the way that they deal with synchronization in 3 slightly different ways, but a little bit of imagination and trial and error and you can get them all talking and playing nicely together. Hope that helped, Patrick, and please drop a comment down below and let me know how you get on. Same goes for anyone else. If you would like my input on anything that you're doing, drop a comment down below. Always happy to respond. That's what it's about, doing things together. You just might inspire me to create some more useful content for other people as well. If you haven't subscribed and you made it this far, then you really need to. Press the like button so that other people can find this, and press the bell so that people at the tubes will let you know when there's more of my half-assed nonsense available. And in the words of the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation, share and enjoy. Bye kids!